Hello there. This is Detroit Miracle coming back to you on this very warm but calm holiday. Which holiday is this for? Let me think about it. Yeah, that's right. Now I know. It is Independence Day or something like that, right? When the Revolutionary War came to a conclusion where the Americans were fighting the British, and then they said that America won their freedom, but nevertheless they were free to enslave many others, right, which were of African descent. You see what I mean? The Americans, the white Americans, realized that the British wanted to enslave them and have them over here working and sending tribute to the British Empire, but the white Americans wanted their freedom. You see what I'm saying? They recognized that it was more benefits in them being free than being in bondage. But after they so called gained their freedom, a whole bunch of Africans were enslaved in the process. So that shows that people never learn from their mistakes and they never learn from the mistakes of others. Yep. Hey, what's good for you is good for anybody else. Remember that. So, and another thing with the Independence Day thing, if the Americans have gained their independence from the British, then why is all these things going on where you see the American press, news stations, entertainment news stations and programs always showing homage and respect to the British Empire, such as in the case where they are always acknowledging major British events such as royal weddings and other type of royal things that go on over in Great Britain. But if the British were your enemies and you fought for freedom to gain yours, and after that happened, then why acknowledge them so openly that way? And why show admiration and appreciation towards them? There are others that have theories. They said that the American USA is really another British territory, but they kept it hush hush. Like they said that the American would pay, the American settlement rather would pay tribute to the British, but they would keep it under wraps because they said the British Empire was much too powerful and immense for the American settlers to beat them. So they said that it never really was a victory in the Revolutionary War where Americans gained their freedom. Yeah, it is said that that was a mere illusion because the British would still remain in control. The people pointed to the key fact that the Queen of England owned so many territories. She owned too many territories all over the world. So, and they were saying that places like Canada is one of them, and in America is the other one. They would say Scotland. They own Scotland, parts of West Africa, even they even reached as far as the further east, but they didn't control all of that. But they said the queen had so much property that based on that, she was the richest person in the world based on owning that much land. Don't believe me? You can research it yourself. But when the queen died, all of that land. Let me wait till this car wait till it passed by. It's a loud car. They were saying when the queen died, all of her holdings and property reverted to her son, which is the newly crowned king of England, but rather he's really the king of the British Empire, which is a vast territory consisting of many places around the world, such as in a case like with America, Canada, but Canada and France split up, or the British Empire split up Canada with the French. That's why a lot of people speak French over there. Some speak American and English, or English, not American. But they were saying like just go under it; it will boggle your mind. And they only had the Queen's net worth at somewhere around $2 billion when she was alive. So they weren't counting all the land that she owned, which was personally hers. So if they would have added up all the value of that land, then she would have been worth 70 or 80 billion, or in fact 70 trillion. But they couldn't tell people that she had that much money, that much, because it would have been mind-boggling, for real. Yeah, folks. And with that being said, if people knew how rich the queen really was, and they would be like, Queen, why don't you make more opportunities for us and all the other citizens within your empire? If you have $70 trillion, if you have that much, you could do a lot. You can give people low interest loans, you can give people free housing, free property taxes, and it's not going to hurt you any. You can make so much opportunities for all the citizens in your empire that everything would flourish beyond imagination, and the economies would be properly situated, and at the same time you would still be incredibly immensely rich and loved by more. People would wonder that, so they would set her net worth at always around $2 billion, but they would never give the value of all the territory that she owned. Hey, I know I'm not lying, folks. Check that out. Check into all of that. Find out if it is true on your own. Research it. I researched into it and I found it. Like the richest landowners in the world, something like that. Go to Google. Like the richest people in the world, richest landowners. Like, and the land is the most valuable thing on earth. Not any precious gemstone, not any metallic substance, not any type of structural thing such as a mansion and a castle, but rather the land, because the land is immensely valuable and for many reasons, such as the mineral rights that is on the land or underneath the land, such as vast oil and natural gasoline deposits, as well as like for the properties and things you can build on the land. You can buy a land, get enough land, and build $100 million mansion. Yeah, the land is, but you still have to pay taxes for the rest of your life. So you never really own that property outright, or you can own the material, you can own the fabrics, you can own the furniture, and how you own the cars that's parked in the driveway, but you never own the land. You are just merely renting the land and the space. Like, so people got to figure out how to put their homes on floating cities and things like that if they truly want to own it outright, because now they can't charge you for open atmosphere like in the sky, but they will figure out a way to do that eventually. If people can put up homes and things like that in businesses right in the sky where they do not have to pay property tax, trust me, the governments will figure out a way to charge those people. It will be only a matter of time, but you will have to pay for that too. People will be like, well, I'm paying for clear, clean air. That's not right. It's not like my stuff is sitting on the ground. It's not on any landmass. That's incredible. Hey, people, even if you get a boathouse and put your stuff on water, you still got to pay. They'll charge you for anything: water, land, and air, all of that. Yeah. But yeah, I deviated a little bit from this discussion. Yeah, I did. It's it's common knowledge if you research it and find out that it's true. But some people won't think to. But when they later come to find out, they're like, "Wow, this is mind-boggling. I can't believe this. It's true too." The Queen of England owned America, Canada, parts of Africa, Scotland, parts of the furthest east, even a little bit of Asia. This is crazy. We didn't know that. That's the that's the British Empire, people. The British Empire is the oldest standing remaining empire in the world. It is the it is the biggest empire of all time. Like, you had things like the Babylonian Empire that might have lasted 100 years and then it went away, it fell. Then you had the Roman Empire that lasted 400 years and then it eventually fell and went away. And then you notice when the British came on the scene and they started colonizing things and conquering somewhere around the 1400s or so, or before that, they just started to add new territories to their consolidated efforts. And now that empire is immense and at its height, and it has stood for nearly 1,000 years. And America is a part of it, or many believe. America would be like a province to the British Empire, much like back in the days when they had the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was consisting of provinces where they had a governor for each province or major territory. Then there was one ruler and one figurehead, which was an emperor. But people are saying, but America is an empire, immense. But look, America is it might be a kingdom within a greater, larger empire. The British is a part of NATO too. Like, look at the British territory, what they own. Look at the size and scope of what they own. Look at what America owns. America is just a large, like, type of self-contained entity built up of liberties, freedoms, capitalism, and things like that. But they don't actually say America actually owns territories. When you look at stuff, when you look at kingdoms and things like that of civilization that actually own vast territories and outside of their own, then you will start to see where the true power lies and where it comes from, people. On the real. Well, folks, I'd appreciate it if you would share this video so we can get the truth out there. Everybody needs to hear the truth. And also, please put those likes on my video and comment on them. I am more than willing to respond to your comments, and I do appreciate those. And for others, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Thank you.